The woman came home in a hurry. She wanted to surprise her husband, but inadvertently crashed into her husband's affair with her neighbor. In the face of her husband's infidelity, the woman couldn't breathe in pain, but she still cried and told her love, forgetting that she and her husband were just a transaction with a clear price. The woman's name was Monica. She was the most popular club girl of her time. She was in and out of men's clubs every day, but then Hansen came along and changed all that. Hansen told Monica he won the jackpot. He had over $5 million left after taxes. If she could live with him as his wife, he was willing to pay her $100,000 a month until he could no longer afford it. Smart Monica. She said yes. After all, she'd never make that kind of money in her life. But just as they arrived home, Hansen suddenly collapsed in the stairwell with angina. Monica rushed to call a doctor for him, but after a series of tests, he found that Hansen's discomfort was caused by his excitement, and the culprit was the beautiful Monica. For the sake of Hansen's health, Monica suggested that the two of them take things slowly to get to know each other first. But with all the women flirting with him, Hansen couldn't stand it any longer. He lunged at him, but Monica stopped him, and then the passive became active as each piece of clothing was slowly removed. The night was bound to be a wonderful one. When he woke up, Monica was nowhere to be found. Hansen got up anxiously to look for her, only to find Monica in the kitchen making him coffee. After 40 years of being single, he finally realized what happiness was. But Monica's passion didn't stop there. Even when Hansen left for work, she'd even go out to work and get close to him for a little while. Hansen was unprepared for this sudden love. Hansen was unprepared. He fell down the stairs again. Luckily, Monica heard him and rushed out. Back at the house, Hansen called his best friend's doctor and asked him to come and see him. But when the doctor arrived, he saw the beautiful Monica. He realized what was wrong with Hansen. Hansen had a congenital heart condition. He can't be stimulated, and he can't exercise strenuously, keeping the beautiful Monica with him. Is a time bomb? Doctors advised Hansen to give her up, but Hansen felt he was in a very fortunate position, so he refused his friend's offer. The doctor had no choice but to start with Monica. He cited Hansen's poor health. He advised Monica to leave, otherwise the consequences would be too much for her to bear. But then, just then, Hansen got dressed and came out. Monica cried and expressed her love to Hansen. Even if he was sick, she wouldn't leave him. She would take care of him for the rest of her life. And so the two of them began a life of shamelessness. Not only did they run around on the beach, they even had a deep conversation in the car. But it didn't last long. One night in the middle of the night, the doctor suddenly received a call from Hansen and asked him to come to his home as soon as possible. But when the doctor arrived in a hurry, he realized it wasn't Hansen who was sick, it was Monica. But that's when it all went wrong. The doctor was ready to treat Monica, but he didn't realize that she was naked. The doctor fell to the ground in shock. By the time Hansen came in, he wasn't breathing. The tragic loss of his best friend, and Hansen was left in a state of grief. But luckily, Monica was there for him. Not only did she bring Hansen back to life, she made him feel the power of love. With the nourishment of love, Hansen's whole body was like a spring breeze. The corners of his mouth couldn't stop rising. Gossiping coworkers noticed the change in him. They guessed he must be in love. They wondered what kind of goddess could melt the stupid Hansen. They demanded to see her at his house. Out of respect for Monica, Hansen called to ask for her advice, but the phone was never answered. Hansen had a bad feeling about this. He rushed home, but there was no sign of Monica, except for the messy bed. There wasn't a single feminine object in the room. It was as if Hansen had imagined it all. Unhappy, Hansen went back to the bar where Monica worked, again went to the bar where Monica worked. He saw her hugging and kissing another man. He was furious. There was nothing he could do about it. After all, it was just a money deal. Hansen was depressed, so he went to the bar to drown his sorrows. The owner's wife took the opportunity to introduce him to a young girl, but Hansen's heart was full of Monica, and he wasn't interested at all. But the girl heard from the boss's wife that Hansen had recently won the jackpot, so she became more enthusiastic. She dragged Hansen home for the night. Monica couldn't control herself any longer. She rushed out the door and shouted, Monica's flowers revitalized Hansen. She had the courage to express her love to Monica. She wanted Monica to stay with him. She made herself realize that happiness was real. Just as they were about to make up, the girl who was on the verge of losing her moneymaker, Hansen, they're not afraid to go public with their customers. In the heat of the moment, Monica just threw out all the money in her purse to prove to Hansen that she doesn't care about money. She was more interested in happiness, so the two of them got back together. But happiness doesn't come easy. But there was a bigger challenge ahead. One day, a gangster came to the house. He was Monica's husband, Charlie, though their marriage had been a sham for a long time. But he wouldn't let Monica go. It wasn't just love, it was because of the wealth Monica could bring him. When he found out that Monica had fallen in love with a rich man. He wanted to offer her in exchange for $5 million. He could take Monica, and Monica would be Hansen's. Love on one side. On the one hand, there's love. On the other hand, there's wealth. Hansen was caught between a rock and a hard place. He asked for some time to think about it, but Monica felt that Hansen didn't love her at all, so she packed her bags and left. On the way back, Monica leaned on her husband's shoulder, but all she could think about was Hansen. Even though they hadn't spent much time together, Hansen brought her more warmth and respect. When she got home, Monica began to miss Hansen like crazy. Her husband, Charlie, noticed the change in her, but he couldn't believe Monica was really in love with someone else. The two of them got into a heated argument. Charlie accused her of being a cuckold, and Monica blamed him for not knowing herself well enough. Otherwise, she wouldn't have fallen in love with someone else. Charlie was speechless. After calming down, Charlie decided to let Monica go. But when Monica returned to Hansen's house, she found Hansen hanging out with the neighbor. But instead of tearing the neighbor down like a bitch, instead, she decided to give Hansen a chance to explain himself. When the neighbor left, Monica and Hansen decided to have a little chat, and that's when they realized how much they loved each other. Seeing Monica crying, Hansen couldn't bear to lie to her anymore. So he had told her he didn't win the lottery at all. All he had done was to be with her. Knowing the truth, Monica realized the truth. She was the one who was stupid, but even so, she still chose to melt in Hansen's arms. This is the end of the movie. Some say the movie is too confusing. Others say the movie touches the soul. As for what it's really like, if you're interested, you can see the original movie.